Part 49. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 481. 10 times the arrow flight speed is enough to deal with god-level units. It's barely enough to deal with generals and gods. But if you want to deal with the main god-level units, you have to continue to improve. Ding. The minimum number of super god-level fusions required for current fusion, 20 times. Do you want to continue fusion? I'll go. To upgrade the god-level demon hunting mark to the primary god level, you need a full 20 super god-level fusion times. Excluding the 4 times just used, Suchen only had 15 times when he went offline. In this way, come on, you need to wait until it goes online tomorrow to have enough fusion times to upgrade the skill level. Try that godly power fragment and see how many times it can reduce the number of fusions for me. Suchen remembered the fragments of divine power obtained by killing God of War Ares before, and immediately added them to the fusion items. Ding. It is detected that there is fragment of divine power *1 in the current fusion, which can greatly reduce the number of super god level fusions required for fusion. The minimum number of super god level fusions required for the current fusion, 1 time. I'll go. Reduce it from 20 times to just 1 time. This fragment of God's power is too powerful. Suchen was overjoyed. Then he thought, could it be that this is not this fragment of God's power? Force fragments, maybe it can also reduce the number of fusions more. Thinking of this, Suchen abruptly raised the fusion level to a higher level. Directly choose the fusion intermediate main god level and see how many super god level fusion times are needed. Ding. It is detected that there is fragment of divine power *1 in the current fusion, which can greatly reduce the number of super god level fusions required for fusion. The minimum number of super god level fusions required for the current fusion, 5 times. Sure enough. Originally, it required 20 super god level fusions to upgrade from the god level to the junior main god level. And 50 fusion times were needed to upgrade from the junior main god level to the intermediate main god level. But now, directly to upgrade the god level to the intermediate main god level, it only takes 5 super god level fusions. Suchen tried to upgrade the fusion level to the advanced main god level. He found that the number of super god level fusions required started to soar, and it was necessary to it takes a full 30 times to fuse. It seems that the intermediate main god level is the best fusion level for the fragments of the power of the god. Damn, I almost wasted a precious godly power fragment. It turns out this thing is so powerful. Seeing how powerful the fragments of God's power were, Suchen wanted to kill the 2 Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva who were wrapped in the light film of the large array right now and explode the other 2 fragments of God's power. Suchen immediately chose to fuse. Ding. Deduct the number of super god level fusions 5, consume fragment of divine power 1, and the fusion is in progress. Fusion successful. Congratulations on your general god level demon hunting mark, successfully upgraded to the intermediate main god level. Skills, demon hunting mark. Level, intermediate lord god level. Occupational restrictions, archer, demon hunter, special occupation. Passive skills. The attacked unit will be automatically marked, increasing the flight speed of long-range crossbows and javelins by add 9,900%, and increasing the hit value by add 9,900%. An additional 99 times increased flight speed. In other words, my current arrow flight speed has reached 100 times its original speed. Etc. Ancestral Dragon's Chi will also add an additional skill level of 1 point, which means that the actual power of my current demon hunting mark skill has reached the advanced master god level. The real flying speed is far more than 100 times. Attack speed of 100 times per second, range of hundreds of miles, coupled with the current flying speed of arrows that exceeds 100 times, haha. Brother, I can finally kill Ksitigarbha and Bodhisattva at the same time before they explode. Fragment of the power of the god, here I come. Over Dragon City. Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva and Suzaku Venerable, who were wrapped in the light film of the Great Formation, were still bombarding the Great Formation conscientiously, adding bricks and tiles and increasing energy to Suchen's heavenly universe formation. So far, the two have added a total of 600 billion units of energy to the formation. If these two people hadn't hit the back, the divine power in their bodies would have become less and less, and their attacks would have become weaker and weaker. The total energy that the formation could increase would have been even greater. Not bad, plus the energy gained from devouring 10,000 years stalactite in the past few hours, the total energy of my formation has now reached more than 700 billion. I believe that by tomorrow, it will break through the 1 trillion mark. You can be promoted to the junior god level. Suchen looked at the two top main gods with livid faces who were constantly bombarding the formation, with a satisfied smile on his lips. It's harvest season. Suchen thought. The two people wrapped in the large array of light film began to approach slowly. The distance between the two was shortened, so that Suchen could better exert the effect of the arrow's flight speed 100 times. When the two reacted before coming over, kill them with force. Well? Why is this light film moving? Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, who noticed the abnormality, was shocked. It seems like, it's closing the distance between us. Venerable Suzaku on the other side was also shocked. The two thought that Suchen wanted to do evil to them. They quickly held back the divine power in their bodies and were ready to self-destruct at any time. Even if they die, they must take off Suchen's skin. Wait until 2 when they were 100 meters apart. Suchen ducked into the middle of them. Ksitigarbha and Bodhisattva were so frightened that they almost started self-destruction and were covered in cold sweat. Ha ha, how come Emperor Yan has time to visit us? Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva forced a smile and said with a stiff expression. Suchen stretched out his arms. He looked at Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, who looked like a bald donkey, and then looked at the beautiful Suzaku master, and said with a smile, I seeing that you are getting more and more boring at work, I thought of a way. Well, the so-called matching of men and women makes the work less tiring. You two come closer, this is how you work. Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. Lord Suzaku. God, men and women work together so they don't get tired. I am a great and virtuous bodhisattva who has transcended gender distinction for a long time. I need a fucking pairing of men and women. Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, the veins on his forehead were beating wildly, and he was complaining wildly in his heart. But he didn't dare to curse directly, lest he angered the moody Suchen, who would kill him with a shake of his hand. Zuk the Venerable also cursed his mother in his heart. But now the situation is stronger than others. In order to perform better in front of Suchen and delay the time until the rescue from the 6 realms, he has to use up the little divine power in his body and bombard the formation even harder. While flattering, he said what Emperor Yan said is that this way, you will be more energetic at work. Hearing that the top god of the demon world Suzaku would actually say such despicable words, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva on the side, he also rolled his eyes wildly. Pooh! This sexy bitch. But in order not to be outdone by Lord Suzaku, he had to bombard the formation even harder. Well, not bad, keep up the good work, I will come see you again at this time tomorrow. Suchen clapped his hands and looked like he was leaving. Damn, this black-hearted guy is finally leaving. Ksitigarbha and Bodhisattva were relieved and breathed a long sigh of relief. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 482. However, at this moment when the two of them relaxed their minds, Suchen suddenly pulled out Divine Bow unnamed. Activate God descends to earth. Rise up and attack. Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva and Suzaku are hundreds of meters apart. Suchen, who had grown to 1,000 meters in height, stood between them, almost crowded together, with only a meter or two between them. Such a close distance, coupled with Suchen's arrow flight speed that now exceeds 100 times, and the attack speed of 100 times per second. Almost at the moment when the afterimage appeared, the attack had already fallen on the two Ksatagarbha Bodhisattvas. 5 times critical hit, minus 123.5 billion. 5 times critical hit, minus 123.5 billion. Quadruple critical hit, minus 117.5 billion. Life bonus. 10 times critical hit, minus 247 billion. The magical skill Shura's Strike has a add 1 effect bonus from the skill level of Dragon Emperor's Bloodline and Ancestral Dragon's Chi, which also increases the power of the magical skill in one fell swoop. The critical hit rate of ultra-high magnification critical hits such as 5 times and 10 times has also become higher, becoming Suchen's main source of critical hits now. Ksatagarbha and Bodhisattva have already exhausted the blessed power of the gods, and now their power is insufficient. In addition, my mind is just relaxing. The body shape was imprisoned by the large array of light film. He completely became Suchen's target. Not to mention self-destruction, the two of them only had time to widen their eyes. As soon as the expressions of fear and astonishment appeared on their faces, their blood volume was instantly emptied by Suchen. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the top god in the Paradise of Paradise Ksatagarbha Bodhisattva and gaining experience points *1 trillion. Your reputation in the Paradise is minus 1 trillion. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the top god of the demon world, Lord Suzaku, and gaining experience points *1 trillion. Your reputation in the demon world is minus 1 trillion. Ding! You get God and Demon Essence *1000. Ding! You get fragments of Divine Power *2. Looking at the two freshly baked fragments of Divine Power, Suchen laughed. Change hands and use up 1000 copies of Essence of Gods and Demons. Ding! Consume Essence of Gods and Demons 1000, and you will obtain qualification star level 1000. The current total qualification star level is 11,969 stars. Suchen thought about the battle situation just now. Well, the actual flight speed of arrows has increased by about 300 times. The normal flight speed of arrows in the God's Domain online game is a distance of 20 meters in 2 seconds. It has increased by 300 times, which is 3,000 meters per second. Nearly 9 times the speed of sound. The distance between Suchen and Ksatagarbha Bodhisattva just now was no more than 2 meters. In other words, less than 7/10,000ths of a second after the bow and arrow was fired, the attack had already landed on the opponent. However, if the distance between the two parties is too far, the flying speed of 3,000 meters per second is still a bit slow for top-level god-level experts. When the number of super god-level fusions is accumulated in the future, it will have to continue to improve. Suchen thought like this. Suddenly an idea flashed in his mind. Huh? If I fuse the godly power fragments together, will the effect be stronger? The idea just came up. It's time for the game to be offline. Suchen sat on the recliner, looked at the bright morning sun outside the window, and sighed in his heart. Tomorrow night, the online game God's Domain will come to reality in full force. The sun in this real world cannot be seen twice. Ex Machina was bringing toiletries over to wash up Suchen. Suddenly, the bright morning sun outside the window suddenly dimmed. In an instant, the community where Suchen was located turned into a green grassland. Around him, level 1 leaping rabbit and level 2 piranha, jumping and wandering around. You can even vaguely see the appearance of Novice Village in the distance. The aunts, little girls, and eldest wives in the community screamed in surprise. Children cried. Young men shouted in surprise. The teenagers were inexplicably excited. Some even punched piranha, killing it instantly. Not good. Our community has also been invaded by the online game world. This is Novice Village number 108 in our Jiangnan service area. We're back in the game. Oh my god. Has the game come to reality? I can no longer play with my mobile phone or watch TV series. Haha. I am already a second level 65 Archmage, Lu Haoang, you can no longer bully me. Fortunately, this time the invasion of the online game world only lasted for half an hour, and the normal real world returned to normal. However, people in the community are still panic-stricken. Unexpectedly, what I saw on the internet about other people's homes being invaded by the online game world also appeared here today. Invasions are becoming more and more frequent. Is the world really going to change drastically? Old lady, don't be afraid, we won't get sick in the game. If your cancer gets inside, just drink a blood bottle and it will be fine. You don't have to worry about food and drink. We will stay in Novice Village peacefully and won't go anywhere. Husband, if the world really turns into an online game, will you still love me? You won't go looking for other flowers and plants, right? Parents, grandparents, don't be afraid. I will protect you in the game. The sister of our guild leader is a member of the Dragon City Fire Phoenix Guild. That's Yandy's people. We have a great background, no one dares to bully us. Suchen sat on the recliner, and Ex Machina leaned against his legs gently. Relying on his sharp five senses and listening to the discussions of all living beings, Suchen felt peaceful in his heart. Maybe this world should be like online games. Suchen thought this way. At 8 p.m., enter the game. Ding. The artifact Dragon King Jade Pendant successfully converts energy and gets you free attribute points *1700. There will be 1 day left, and the online game God's Domain will officially come to the earth. Tonight is the last time you need to log in to enter the game. From now on, everyone in the world will always live in the world of God's Domain. Suchen activates the Infinite Fusion talent. Ding. Godly Power Fragment *1 has been set as the main fusion object. There is no auxiliary fusion object for the current fusion. The minimum number of Super God level fusions required, 100 times. Oh no. It takes 100 Super God level fusions to fuse one Divine Power Fragment? But think about it, this thing is also the power of the deity. Even if it is a fragment, it is stronger than the main God level. Ding. It is detected that there is an additional fragment of Divine Power *1 in the current fusion, which can greatly reduce the number of Super God level fusions required for fusion. Whether to enable. A prompt sounded suddenly in Suchen's mind. The latter was slightly stunned and then selected Enable. Ding. The minimum number of Super God level fusions required for the current fusion, 10 times. Suchen now has 13 Super God level fusion times in his body. He gritted his teeth and couldn't bear to let his child catch the wolf, so he used it 10 times. Consumption of Super God level fusion times *10, fusion is in progress. Fusion successful. Congratulations on getting Power of God *1. Power of God. Level, Junior God level. Description, possessing extremely powerful and mysterious energy, the specific function is unknown. I don't know how many times this thing can reduce the number of fusions for me. Suchen looked at the restrained brilliance in his hand, like an ordinary crystal power of God, and tried to start merging skills. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 483. Choose to fuse the magical skill Adaptive Resistance to the advanced main God level. Ding. It is detected that the current fusion contains Power of God *1, which can greatly reduce the number of Super God level fusions required for fusion. Whether to enable. Enable. The minimum number of Super God level fusions required for the current fusion, 1 time. I'll go. It only takes one super god level fusion to fuse to the high level main god level. Suchen's eyes lit up when he heard the prompt in his mind. Choose to fuse the magical skill Adaptive Resistance to the top god level. Adaptive Resistance. If you can reach the top level of the main god, then with the blessing of Ancestral Dragon Chi, you can have the power of the junior god level. With Suchen's current attribute amplification ability of up to 310 times God descends to earth, coupled with the soaring defense value, he may not be able to withstand one or two primary god level attacks. And as long as he can resist, he can use adaptive resistance to gradually upgrade his resistance ability to the primary god level, until the primary god level attack is immune. In that case, Suchen's ability to protect himself would be much greater. You must know that after the God's Domain online game comes to reality, once the player's death time exceeds the maximum allowable resurrection time, he will die permanently. And the land of Tianyuan and Six Realms are extremely dangerous places. Suchen must think about his own life. Ding. It is detected that the current fusion contains power of God *1, which can greatly reduce the number of super god level fusions required for fusion. The minimum number of super god level fusions required for current fusion, 20 times. Can the adaptive resistance be upgraded to the top god level in 20 times? The number of super god level fusions he has accumulated now is 13 times. He only needs to stay in an independent space for a while to make up for 20 super god level fusions. Number of god level fusions. At that moment, Suchen began to eat the fragments of the sacred monument with peace of mind, while thinking about the follow-up plan. Well, in the future, we have to kill some main gods blessed by the power of the gods, or directly kill the junior gods. Godly power fragments and godly power are so useful. It is simply an accelerator of my strength, the more the merrier. When I upgrade the demon hunting mark skill to the top level god level in the future, I will actually have the power of the junior god level. Maybe I can instantly kill the top level god or even the junior god at will by standing up and shooting arrows. At the same time, the Umbrella Girl Yingying and the Black Dragon Ji Mengli, with the cooperation of the half-awakened fox and others, are screening the congratulatory gifts sent by various tribes. Among them, the god-level items with high energy that can be used are, all thrown into the Heaven Universe formation. Energy units are equivalent to durability for the formation. The higher the durability, the less likely the formation is to be exploded. The more stable the time and space fortress is. The fortress is where Suchen and his Dragon City forces settle down. Naturally, the safer it is, the better. At the same time, Yun Fiyin and others, who have condensed their godhood, are still killing gods and demons in the battlefield of gods and demons. Suchen will use the artifact Daodi temporarily gave it to Yun Fiyin. Let her collect godhead that has lost power. Although the number is not large, it can also add some heart of divine power in breeding to the mother of divine power. More than 3 years have passed like this. Hours. As more and more high-energy treasures were put into the Heavenly Universe formation, a crisp prompt finally sounded in Suchen's mind. Ding! Congratulations on the total energy of Heavenly Universe Array Center successfully breaking through the 1 trillion unit mark and successfully triggering the energy breakthrough attribute. After deducting energy units *1 trillion, your Heaven Universe Array Center will automatically be upgraded to elementary god level, and you will gain the highest primary level protection power. Being attacked by a primary god level attack consumes large array energy *10,000 units per second. The total energy of the array reaches 10 trillion units, which will trigger the intermediate divine level energy breakthrough. Finally, the Heavenly Universe formation has been upgraded to the primary god level. Suchen felt excited. Previously, the formation was attacked by the power of gods such as Ksatagarbha Bodhisattva and others, which consumed a full 100 million units of energy at a time. Now he is not afraid. No matter how fast your attack speed is, you only consume 10,000 units of energy per second. At the same time, the energy obtained through the absorption and transformation attribute is still as high as 1 billion units. As long as the opponent cannot blow up Suchen's formation at once, the energy in the formation will only increase more and more. The more it attacks, the more stable it becomes. More than 3 hours have passed. The number of super god level fusions has finally accumulated to 22. Suchen immediately started to fuse. Consumes the number of super god level fusions 20 times, consumes power of God 1, and is merging. Fusion successful. Congratulations on successfully upgrading your magical skill adaptive resistance to the top level of the Lord God. With the blessing of ancestral dragon chi, the actual power of this adaptive resistance skill is the primary god level. In other words, Suchen can obtain the highest primary god level attack immunity resistance. The primary god level formation, the primary god level resistance, with these two life-saving means, the land of Tianyuan, I can finally roam freely. Suchen clenched a fist with one hand, and his eyes were full of fighting spirit. There are still more than 5 hours before the game is offline. Suchen thought for a while and ducked to the abyss of fear in the endless sea. Tomorrow is the day when the online game of God's domain comes to reality. It is also the day when Land of the Abyss opens. It's time to complete the God-level hidden mission Sunday and release the Sky Ocean Overlord Leviathan. Ding! You have entered the sealing formation of the 6 realms of heaven and earth. Die here and cannot be reborn. Entering the sealing formation deep in the abyss of fear again. There are still mountains of tributes piled around. The last time Suchen came here, he couldn't take away all the tributes because he was avoiding the 6-color lightning. Now he wants them all. After destroying the great formation here, he no longer had any scruples. At that moment, Black Dragon G Mengli was summoned, and the latter flew in the air, using the greed skill to crazily search for countless tributes here. Ding! You get rare level elemental crystal asterisk 5.3 billion. Ding! You get the legendary material eternal pearl asterisk 210,000. Ding! You get coin asterisk 4.7 billion. Ding! You get gold coins asterisk 989.6 billion. Ding! Black Dragon G Mengli's search made too much noise. One of the 10 mountains in the distance shook. At the same time, a dull and loud sound sounded in the void. Who is it? Dare you touch my tribute? Suchen curled his lips. Looking at the 6-colored clouds above the mountains, there was a faint electric light wandering inside. He thought that he could use this terrifying lightning to increase his resistance to the main god level and be immune to attacks. At that moment said Li Rishan, "Don't move yet. I'll take a bath in the 6-color cloud." Huh? It's you, the loud voice in the void became a bit surprising. At the same time, in the earth composed of transparent crystals, 2 huge green vertical pupils like searchlights suddenly opened. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 484. Come here this time, are you going to let me out? Ocean Overlord Leviathan said with a bit of expectation. Suchen dodged towards the 6-colored clouds above the mountains. He said casually, "What else? You are not a beautiful woman, why should I make a special trip to visit you?" Leviathan chuckled. Suddenly he was stunned and said, "Huh? Wait, what did you just say? Take a bath in the 6-color cloud." Leviathan hadn't finished asking. Suchen had already swept into the colorful clouds, and at the same time activated the 310-fold increase of God descends to earth. He immediately triggered the terrifying 6-color lightning inside, and wildly bombarded him like a horse. Minus 1.5 billion. Minus 1.5 billion. Minus 1.5 billion. Minus 1.5 billion. Add 600 million. Ding! You are under a top god level attack. Skill adaptive resistance increases resistance by 1% against top god level attacks. Ding! You are under a top god level attack. Skill adaptive resistance increases resistance by 2% against top god level attacks. Ding. Every time the 6-color lightning strikes Suchen, it will cause 1.5 billion damage. However, he has the true dragon body with the blood of the Dragon King, which can automatically restore 17% of the upper limit of his health every second. Now that he has activated God Descends to Earth, his life value is as high as over 270 billion. The value of blood returned per second is more than 1,000 times the value of a single damage received. No matter how crazy the 6-color lightning bombarded him, Suchen didn't feel anything. The whole person is wandering in the 6-color cloud. It is really like taking a bath, very comfortable. Recalling that when he was attacked by the 6-color lightning for the first time, Suchen used a stand-in doll to resist, and then fled frantically until he escaped outside the abyss of fear. The 6-color lightning was weakened by 99% by the power of the rules of the divine continent, and was able to barely save his life by relying on the life-saving ring. But now, this terrifying 6-color lightning bombarded his body, but it was no different from tickling. The difference is as real as clouds and mud. After just 10 seconds. Ding. You are under a top god level attack. Skill adaptive resistance increases resistance to top god level attacks by 100%. The current attack is invalid and immune. After reaching immunity, Suchen was about to leave the colorful clouds. His heart moved. He used the imperial power attribute of the artifact Unparalleled Crown to capture a 6-color lightning bolt and stored it. The power of this 6-color lightning is even stronger than the void annihilation magic. In the future, it would be good to use it to instantly kill the blood-stained Lord God remotely. After doing this, Suchen cancelled the God Descends to Earth state, left the 6-color cloud, and took Ji Mengli back into his body. A pair of huge green vertical pupils focused on Suchen. Li Vaden said with a bit of surprise. Junlin, you have reached the top level of Lord God level. Suchen knew what this coquettish guy was afraid of. Wasn't he afraid that his strength would surpass him and that he would become his foil when he went to the 6 realms in the future? He then smiled and said, no, I just got it from you. The adaptive resistance ability has been improved to the level of immunity of the main god. My real combat power can only reach the general level. General level? Li Vaden looked full of doubt. I heard before that you killed the main gods of the 6 realms, and you were so majestic, although I, Li Rishan, am sealed here. Don't think that I am deaf and don't know anything. Snort. I, Li Vaden, was born and raised and live as long as the sun and the moon. It is impossible for me to become someone else. Before Li Vaden could say anything, Suchen quickly raised his hand and interrupted. Stop, stop, stop repeating that motto of yours. You also know that I accepted Lu Yuanzong, the number 1 god in the heaven, as my younger brother. He was an invincible existence under the gods back then. I took the Xiantian Dao fruit from the Xiantian Dao sect and restored part of his strength. Those 6 realms' main gods are he killed him. How could I have such strong combat power? Real. If you don't believe it, see for yourself. With god-level power here, how can he still fake it? Brother, I really didn't lie to you, I am really weak. Suchen doesn't know how strong Li Vaden's attack power is, but his resistance is really strong. As long as the god does not come out, he is an immortal existence. It is definitely useful to use it as a shield in the land of Tianyuan to resist the attacks of gods and demons. This way there is no need to use a good human shield, so Suchen naturally wanted to trick him away. Li Vaden's pair of green vertical pupils swept up and down Suchen's body several times. It's really a god-level power. Then he laughed heartily and said, that's good. As long as your strength is lower than mine. You also know that I, Li Vaden, the overlord of the generation, was born with the same life as the sun and the moon. How can I be a green leaf for others? This guy started chanting again. Suchen pretended not to hear. Then he began to look at the structure of the 6 worlds of heaven and earth seal formation hidden around him. Suchen's heavenly universe formation has the same principle as it. After watching it for a while, I figured out a lot about it. Li Rishan, today I will destroy the seal formation to help you get out of trouble. In the future, you will have to help me defeat the gods and demons of the 6 realms in Tianyuan land and the 6 realms, Suchen shouted to Li Vaden. Do you think that I am a villain who does not keep his word? It is such an interesting thing to go to the 6 realms to cause trouble, and you only have the strength of a general. If I don't go to such a fulfilling thing, wouldn't it be a waste of time? Hearing Li Vaden's words, Suchen secretly cursed in his heart. Damn, it's like you have very few wasted years. Well, why don't you make an oath, in order to prevent this guy from discovering his true combat power in the future? Suchen went home angrily and thought it would be better to let this guy make a contract and a poisonous oath. Snort. The heart of a villain measures the belly of a gentleman. I swear this oath. If I don't help Junlin sweep across the 6 realms, I will be worse than a pig or a dog and will be punished by God. Good. Suchen was overjoyed. His eyes suddenly condensed. He caught a trace of the flow of mana in the 6 worlds of heaven and earth seal formation. He immediately took action like lightning and used his own power to disrupt it. This disturbance immediately disappeared. Like dominoes falling, a chain reaction started. The entire seal formation began to tremble violently. There were signs of disintegration at any time. The seal formation has been broken. Li Rishan, come out, Suchen shouted. Boom, 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 under the 6-color cloud. Tentacles as long as 10 mountain ranges moved in response to the sound. Breaking through the shackles of the seal, they lifted high, causing terrifying space ripples along the way, and the 6-colored clouds in the void were suddenly drawn away. Boom. The formation that was about to collapse was hit by Li Vaden's full blow. Finally, it could no longer hold on and collapsed suddenly. For a time, the void shattered. The 6-color lightning without restraints bombarded everywhere. The sea water mixed with the chaotic energy of the large array, just like the sky was shattering and the earth was shattering, twisting the space here to pieces. Fortunately, Suchen and Li Vaden were not ordinary beings. Facing such a doomsday scene, we still remain fearless. Ha 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 ha. Grandsons of the 6 realms, you have sealed the seed for millions of years, and today I, Li Rishan, finally see the light of day again. One day he will definitely go to the 6 realms again and turn all of your realms upside down. Ding. Congratulations on successfully completing the God-level hidden mission, Rishan. You have received the full help of Ocean Overlord Leviathan. At the same time, your behavior has completely angered the 6 realms, and the 6 realms' revenge is coming, so please proceed with caution. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 485. Yechen saw clearly the process of Li Vaden violently smashing the 6-color cloud. I was secretly shocked. This guy not only has strong resistance, but also possesses immortality. And even the attack has reached the top level of the main god. No wonder the 6 realms couldn't do anything to him back then. It's quite nice to pull such a monster into your own chariot. Suchen immediately shouted, tomorrow evening, we will gather in Dragon City, and we will join hands to enter the land of Tianyuan. Turn his 6 realms upside down. Good. Ha 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 ha. Li Vaden immediately agreed. 10,000-mile-long tentacles scattered the surrounding sea water and void. Then they slammed into the earth composed of transparent crystals. Boom. The earth shattered. A beetle-like head emerged from the shattered. It suddenly rushed out of the earth. 6 legs like steel pillars stepped on the void, and in conjunction with the 10 swinging tentacles, they rushed out from the bottom of the sea. For a time, the mighty pressure of the ocean overlord was transmitted to the entire endless sea. Countless sea people trembled. Ancestor is born. Ha 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 ha. Lyrishan, finally came out. Looking at the excited Levaten, Suchen smiled slightly and flashed back to Dragon City. The great formation of heaven and earth and the 6 realms of heaven and earth was destroyed, and the 6 realms were also disturbed. Damn it! Who released that bastard Leviathan? When Leviathan was sealed, our 6 realms paid a huge price by killing one main god and seriously injuring 7 other gods. Now that the seal is broken, it will probably be another big trouble for our 6 realms. It's King's Landing. It's the Fire Emperor who just ascended the throne. Sure enough, this guy is just a troublemaker. Without him, I will never have peace in the 6 realms. Report to all the realm lords that if these 2 people enter the land of Tianyuan, send the ancient world protector Venerable to kill them. Suchen began to upgrade the Bazan barracks. Now that Dragon City has been upgraded to an imperial city, the maximum level of buildings within the city can be increased. Bazan barracks can also continue to be upgraded. The system detects that your current city level is Imperial City. Bazan barracks can be upgraded to level 20 Imperial City barracks. Upgrading requires gold coins *2 billion. Do you want to continue upgrading? Upgrade. Upgrading in progress, upgrade completed. Congratulations on successfully obtaining level 20 Imperial City barracks. The maximum troop level that can be trained in this barracks is level 200, the maximum accelerated training speed is 100 times, and additional functions, increase the elite troop explosion rate by 50%. Suchen immediately threw all of his 100,000 divine and demonic dragon knights, including the 900,000 level ordinary dragon knights who had just completed training, into the Imperial City barracks. Ding! The maximum acceleration of 100 times has been selected. Each Dragon Knight consumes gold coins *1000 per day and is trained to level 150. It takes a total of 2 hours of training and 1 billion gold coins are deducted. The highest level of the arms cannot exceed Suchen's own level, so he first set the training level of these Dragon Knights at level 150. After completing the Ancient Wind mission later, he will upgrade these Dragon Knights. Although it cost more gold coins, the training time to reach level 150 is only 2 hours, and the elite troop explosion rate is as high as 50%. This Imperial City barracks is still very good. Suchen commented secretly. He summoned Black Dragon Ji Mengli and Umbrella Girl Yingying to his side. He extracted experience points from the experience storage tank and raised his hand to upgrade them. Ding! Congratulations! The clone Black Dragon Ji Mengli has reached level 101. Ding! Congratulations! The clone Umbrella Girl Sakura has reached level 101. Ding! Congratulations! The clone Black Dragon Ji Mengli has reached level 102. Ding! Congratulations! The clone Umbrella Girl Sakura has reached level 102. Ding! Ding! Congratulations! The clone Black Dragon Ji Mengli has reached level 150. Ding! Congratulations! The clone Umbrella Girl Sakura has reached level 150. Ding! Warn! Your clone Black Dragon Ji Mengli Umbrella Girl Sakura unknown changes are taking place. A total of more than 70 billion experience points were spent, and both clones were upgraded to level 150. But the moment the upgraded white light stopped, a sudden change occurred in the 2 women. The clothes on his body suddenly disappeared. The Luo god statue behind him turned into a phantom and rose up. The woman in the portrait seemed to come to life, stretching out a slender jade finger and gently tapping the 2 women's heads. Buzz! It's like being enlightened. The traces of divine power that had escaped between heaven and earth all gathered together. Follow the little bit of the woman in the portrait and pour it all into the bodies of the 2 women. Ding! Your clone Black Dragon Ji Mengli, the strength of Umbrella Girl Sakura is increasing like crazy. Ding! Congratulations to your clone Black Dragon G Mengli. The strength of Umbrella Girl Sakura has been increased to God level. Ding. Congratulations to your clone Black Dragon G Mengli. The strength of Umbrella Girl Sakura has been upgraded to General God level. Ding. Congratulations to your clone Black Dragon G Mengli. The strength of Umbrella Girl Sakura has been upgraded to Intermediate Lord God level. Wait until the strength of the two women reaches the primary God level. This kind of divine empowerment gradually stopped. Finally, the two phantoms of the Luo Shen statues in mid-air turned into points of light, returned to the backs of the two women, and returned to their tattoo appearance. Su Chen, who was sitting opposite, was already dumbfounded. What's the situation? This Luo God statue also has this kind of function. Actually directly increased the strength of my clone to the main God level. Su Chen discovered for the first time. This weird Luo Shen statue actually has such benefits. Just when he wanted to check the current attributes of the two clones. Next, something even more unexpected happened. Ding. The strength of your divine pet beast God Nine Tails is increasing crazily. Ding. Your friend Yun Fiyan's strength is improving crazily. Ding. Your servant the third dragon princess Ling Shuang's strength is increasing crazily. Ding. The strength of your pet ex machina is increasing like crazy. I just came back from the battlefield of gods and demons. I was in the independent office of the guild building, sorting out the Yun Fiyan and beast god Nine Tails harvested in the battlefield. Under the horrified eyes of the cute little white rabbit on the side, I suddenly fainted at the same time. Immediately after the two people, the phantom of the Luo God statue rose up, and thousands of strands of divine power in the void turned into colorful streams of light, pouring into their heads. The aura in the body began to surge rapidly. In the captain's room of the Dragon City Fleet, the third princess of Sea Dragon Ling Shuang was arranging the mission of the East China Sea Fleet when she also suddenly fainted. Statue of Luo God the Phantom rises up, and the divine power is empowered. Xiao Juer, who was on the side, was born spiritual. Because he didn't feel that his sister was in any danger, he stood aside and clapped his hands and shouted, "Wow! My sister is going to become a fairy." In reality, in the room where Su Chen lived, Ex Machina, who was guarding Su Chen with tenderness and admiration in her eyes, also had the phantom of Luo Shen statue rising behind her, a dark energy initiation. His aura surged like crazy. It caused strong winds and billowing clouds throughout the community. Some pet dogs barked in fear. The siren of a car parked downstairs. The national security personnel guarding outside the community were horrified, thinking that another foreign country had launched some terrible weapon, and quickly requested reinforcements from their superiors. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 486. Ding. Congratulations on the strength of your divine pet beast God Nine Tails being upgraded to Intermediate Lord God level. Ding. Congratulations to your friend Yun Fiyan for improving his strength to Intermediate Lord God level. Ding. Congratulations to your servant Princess Hai Long Ling Shuang for her strength has been upgraded to Intermediate Lord God level. Ding. Congratulations on your pet ex machina's strength being upgraded to Intermediate Lord God level. Soon, crisp beeps sounded again. Su Chen, who was sitting in a separate space, was already dumbfounded. What's the situation? Can I receive Yun Fiyan's information? Isn't ex machina in reality? Can her information be captured in the game? Ling Shuang, the third princess of Hai Long, actually also has a statue of Luo God. The development of things went beyond Su Chen's imagination. But it turned out that the strength of the 6 women was actually upgraded to the intermediate main God level in just 10 seconds. How terrible this is! The short 10 seconds of the 6 girls are worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of years of hard work and opportunities from the gods and demons of the 6 realms. If the gods and demons of the 6 realms knew about it, I really don't know how jealous they would be. Even Suchen himself was a little jealous. You know, his current basic attribute value can only reach the level of general god. This was achieved by relying on the advantage of rebirth and the talent of infinite fusion. But these 6 women are all his. It is naturally a good thing to have such a big improvement in strength. And in terms of real combat power, the 6 women combined would not be his opponent, Suchen alone. He immediately checked the attributes of Ji Mengli and Yingying before they stood up. Black Dragon Ji Mengli. Level 150, Intermediate Main God. Race, Dragon. Qualification, 300 stars. Intimacy, 100, Unwavering Determination. Life, 50 billion/50 billion. Magic, 50 billion/50 billion. Attack, 5.5 billion. Defense, 10 billion. Skills, Split Dragon Breath Physical Strengthening Greedy Forbidden Fire Meteor from Heaven Split the Sky, God Level, Dragon Roar, God Level. Equipment, Instant Soul Devouring. Umbrella Girl Sakura. Level 150, Intermediate Main God. Race, Ghost Clan. Qualification, 300 stars. Intimacy, 100, Unwavering Determination. Life, 45.2 billion/45.2 billion. Magic, 45 billion/45 billion. Attack, 4.5 billion. Defense, 900 million. Skill, Power Control Fantasy God Level Engineer Creation of Ghosts Stepping on the Starry Sky, God Level. Equipment, Red Umbrella Forbidden and Wenchen Staff Su Dancing Kong Robe Su Wukong Dharma Pants Void Dance Boots. The attributes have all increased 10,000 times compared to before. Even much stronger than Lu Yuanzong, who is also an intermediate main god. Too strong, too strong. Even the qualification star level has skyrocketed to 300 stars. Suchen estimated that the attributes of the 4 girls Yun Fi Ian, who had also soared to the intermediate level of main god, should not be much different. The same perversion and terror. If these 6 women are brought to the land of Tianyuan, what will happen? Suchen couldn't help but grin. After a while, Beast God Nine Tails, Yun Fi Ian, and Sea Dragon Princess Ling Shuang, who gradually calmed down, came to the secret realm of the Imperial City to be independent. Space. After discovering that everyone was in this situation, the women gradually felt at ease. The 3rd princess of Heilong, Ling Shuang, suddenly felt excited in her heart. Her beautiful eyes secretly glanced at Suchen sitting beside her, her heart beating like a deer. I have such strength, I should be able to always be by his side in the future, right? Well, as long as I can see him often, I, Ling Shuang, will be content even if there are mountains of swords and seas of fire, and even if gods and demons surround me. Suchen checked the attributes of Yun Fi Ian and the girls again. I found that they were similar to Ji Mengli and Yingying. They all have absolute mid-level god level strength. Even the skills are still at the god level, but with such powerful attributes, even if the god level skills are used, the power can still reach the main god level, so for now it doesn't matter. After the girls dispersed, a few more hours passed, and there was still less than half an hour until the game was offline. Suchen sat in a separate space and looked at his basic defense value. 162,197,804. Up to 160 million. After turning on the 310-fold increase of God Descends to Earth, there is a defense of 50.2 billion. Even higher than the attack of the top Lord God. In other words, even if Suchen does not have the adaptive resistance that is immune to the main God level attack, He can also rely on his own defense to traverse the 6 realms of gods without any damage. If the defense value can be increased at this rate for a few more days, I am afraid that even if it encounters a junior god level being, it will still be hardened. At the same time, the total energy of the heavenly universe formation has now been increased to 5.2 billion again. Moreover, the 10,000 years stalactite and other various high-energy god-level treasure materials are far from being devoured. It is estimated that it can also increase hundreds of billions of units of energy for the formation. Suchen's current number of super god-level fusions has accumulated to 8 times. There is nothing suitable for improvement in terms of skills or anything. To upgrade the god level attribute plunder to the primary god level, without the godly power fragment, a full 20 super god level fusions are needed to fuse it. And when the game goes online tomorrow, it will be the time when Land of the Abyss is launched. There is simply no time for him to accumulate enough fusion times. After thinking about it, Suchen used all 8 super god level fusion times to fuse 8 desolate dragon knights. The millions of dragon knights in the Imperial City barracks have all been upgraded to level 150. Among them, the attributes of ordinary dragon knights have increased by 100%. The attributes of the divine demonic dragon knight have increased 3 times. The 8 desolation dragon knights are even more abnormal, their attributes have increased 5 times. Its qualification star level has also been increased from the original 120 stars at level 100 to the current 200 stars. Twice as powerful as the Divine Dragon Knight. The current 3 basic attributes of the Divine Dragon Knight are, 24 million health, 6 million attack, and 1.5 million defense. The 3 basic attributes of the Bawang Dragon Knight are, 60 million life, 15 million attack, and 3.5 million defense. The strength gap between the 8 Desolation Dragon Knights and the Divine Demon Dragon Knights has once again widened. It further shows the unparalleled potential of the 8 Desolate Dragon Knights. This also strengthens Suchen's idea of fusing 8 Desolate Dragon Knights again. In the future, 9 powerful 8 Desolations Dragon Knights can lead the gods and demons dragon riders to attack hundreds of millions of gods and demons, and use the skills of united as one and fighting the 8 desolations, and they will definitely become extremely powerful gods and demons harvesters. You know, if 100,000 level 150 god and demon dragon riders, plus 8 desolate dragon riders, use united as one, their total attack power will be as high as a terrifying 600 billion. Even the invincible top god under the god can kill him instantly with one strike. Slaughtering those ordinary gods, generals, and even god-level gods and demons, isn't it as simple as chopping melons and vegetables? Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 487. Now Suchen directly activated the infinite fusion talent. Ding. The main fusion target level 150 Elite Dragon Knight 1 and the auxiliary fusion target Godhead 1 have been selected. Consumption of super god level fusion times *1, fusion is in progress. Ding. Congratulations on your successful fusion of Bawang Dragon Knight *1. Ding. Congratulations on your successful fusion of Bawang Dragon Knight *1. Ding. Soon. 8 level 158 desolate dragon knights with powerful auras appeared in front of Suchen with heavy auras. Suchen laughed. I casually upgraded the thousands of golden dragon babies that have been produced in the golden dragon lair to the full level 100. Then each of these 8 desolate dragon knights was equipped with a golden dragon mount. Do these things well. Suchen chewed on the fragments of the sacred monument and rested for a while. Wait until the game goes offline. Then he stretched out a lot and opened his eyes. Bright sunshine shines in. Today's community seems exceptionally quiet. It's a little unusual to be quiet, and the sunshine is a little too bright. Well, why is my balcony floor-to-ceiling window missing? Where is the door? Where did the door go? Looking at the mess around him, Suchen was stunned. The ex machina on the side looked particularly gentle and cautious today. She twisted her little fingers uneasily, and whispered softly with a hint of flattery and a hint of fear. He said to Suchen, "Master, good morning, are you hungry? The servant has made your favorite crab meat soup dumplings. Would you like to eat some first?" Feeling the god-level terrifying aura surrounding Ex Machina, and looking at her scared expression like a kitten, Suchen seemed to understand something in an instant. It seems that this girl's strength suddenly soared to the main god level last night, causing some strange phenomena, so the family is like this. After thinking about the reason, Suchen felt a little funny looking at Ex Machina's cute look. This girl is afraid that the owner will be angry because she has made a mess in the house, and he must blame her. He was about to say something to make fun of. A voice of relief suddenly came from the door. "Su, Mr. Su, you finally woke up." Suchen looked over with surprise. I saw an extremely strong national security officer with a strong aura, lying prostrate at the door, raising his head with difficulty, looking at him. "Well? Why do we need to perform such a grand ceremony so early in the morning?" Suchen said in surprise. The national security officer was stunned for a moment, then quietly glanced at Ex Machina with fear on his face, and smiled bitterly at Suchen. "Your sister is too coercive, I really can't get up. Forgive me." Suchen possesses the Dragon King bloodline and is extremely powerful. He has no feeling for the god-level breath of Ex Machina. This national security officer is different. Although as humans improve their character levels and attributes in online games, their physiques in reality also improve accordingly. But no matter how strong the physique is, they are just ordinary players. How can they withstand the pressure of the main god level like Ex Machina? This is because of his strong physique. An ordinary person would not be able to climb to Suchen's door under such terrifying pressure. "Well, let me teach you how to control the breath in your body." Suchen helps Ex Machina, whose strength has soared, to overcome the terrifying pressure. Wait until the breath has been reduced to 90%. The national security officer lying down at the door finally got up. He briefly reported to Suchen what happened last night. Last night, Suziome's strength suddenly increased, causing a strange phenomenon in the world. The entire community was so bad that a short-term strong wind struck. Now all residents of the community have been evacuated. In addition to varying degrees of damage to the doors, windows, and vehicles of the community, this incident also resulted in the sudden death of 10 pet cats and dogs, 2 elderly people with heart disease were hospitalized, and 7 children were frightened. Well, of course, our National Security Department has already arranged all the residents in the community. Mr. Su, you don't have to worry about them. I came here just to tell Mr. Su that our National Security Department has arranged a single-family villa for you, not far from the community. It has been cleaned. Mr. Su, do you want to move there now? The National Security personnel asked respectfully. Suchen's current identity is extremely special. Although in reality, he still regards himself as an ordinary citizen of Country Z. But his actual identity has changed as he ascended the throne and proclaimed himself emperor in Dragon City. He became the global overlord and the emperor of the world. Even Mr. Yoon of Country Z and the king of Country M were not as noble as Suchen now. Naturally, the national security personnel were very respectful to Suchen. Hearing the other party's inquiry, Suchen smiled. He smiled. He waved his hand and said, "No, I'm used to living here and I'm too lazy to move. Tonight, the God's Domain online game will fully come to reality, and the whole world will become an online game world." What the hell is he doing? Then I'll ask someone to make some repairs here. No, it's just for the day anyway, so there's no need to bother. Seeing that Su Chen had made up his mind, the national security personnel did not want to be nagging anymore. They said, "If Mr. Su needs anything, just tell us. We will be guarding outside the community and we will be there at any time. After the national security personnel retreated, Ex Machina asked curiously, Master, why don't you repair the doors and windows at home? Then he said uneasily, it's all the servant's fault, why don't we let the servant repair the doors and windows at home? Suchen hugged her gently, resting his chin on her soft and fragrant hair, and said softly, no need. Haven't you always wanted to play games with your master? Tonight, you can realize this dream. Hearing the master's words, Ex Machina was surprised and said, really? Very good. It was 6 o'clock in the evening. Suchen, Ex Machina, Yunfei, the cute little white rabbit and others moved chairs and sat in front of the balcony without floor-to-ceiling windows. The golden setting sun shone on the four of them, making them look particularly peaceful. The breeze brings the unique atmosphere of the city. Occasionally, you can hear the sound of car horns in the distance. Suchen, is the divine world coming soon? Yunfei held Suchen's arm, resting her little head on his shoulder, looking at the tall buildings in the city in the distance, and asked softly. Well, about 1 minute left, Suchen whispered with a calm expression. The cute little white rabbit said with a worried look, Brother Su, will this world disappear forever? Don't worry. Suchen smiled slightly and said, the new world is coming. As long as we work hard, we will definitely be able to build a home that is more peaceful and beautiful than now. Yunfei and Mechanical Ji leaned against Suchen, one on the left and the other on the right, and murmured softly, as long as you are there, that is my home. The cute little white rabbit looked at Yunfei and the two girls with envy, and looked at the setting sun, but there was a trace of worry about the future lingering in his heart. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 488. Governments around the world were notified by Suchen in advance. At this moment, we are also waiting with bated breath for great changes that have not been seen in mankind for thousands of years. Ordinary people remain in the dark. Although we knew it would come, the exact time was unknown. This is also an attempt by governments to avoid last-minute riots, lest anyone let themselves go and take the opportunity to do evil. Soon. A minute passed. The setting sun, which was still sending its last rays of light to the earth, suddenly disappeared. The world instantly fell into complete darkness. The tall buildings that were originally brightly lit at night, the street lights on both sides of the road, and the passing traffic were now eerily dark, without a single ray of light emitting. It was as if the global circuit system was paralyzed. Yunfei, Ex Machina, and the cute little white rabbit suddenly held their breaths at this moment. I could only hear Suchen's priest-like voice in the darkness, the world of gods has arrived. The sudden arrival of darkness gradually caused bursts of screams and exclamations in the city. Then the sound became louder and louder, and finally became like a mountain and a tsunami, ringing over the entire Jiangnan city. Millions of people were panicked. With Suchen's current 5 senses, he could easily see through the darkness and see a black bid car that was originally speeding on the road 3 kilometers away. The car contained a middle-aged couple who had just gotten off work. The world suddenly became dark. The middle-aged man in the driver's seat of the car was frightened. However, his mental quality was quite good and he turned the headlight button in time. However, the button felt very wrong. It was very hard, and it couldn't turn. Huh? The car light is broken. Wait, why did the road suddenly become so bumpy? The middle-aged man quickly stepped on the brakes, but he didn't want to step on the brakes. The wife next to him suddenly screamed. She grabbed the middle-aged man's arm. Ah! It's going to fall. Help! What's wrong? What's wrong? Just when the middle-aged man was in panic. Suddenly, it was like God turned on the light. The world suddenly brightened up. The sun hung high in the sky. The midday sun shone on the earth. The fresh air of nature floated over, It is refreshing to hear it. This was originally the fresh air that people in the city longed for most, but now it makes everyone feel extremely frightened. Because the world around them has changed drastically. High-rise buildings have turned into forests. Asphalt roads have turned into grass. Driving the vehicles turned into their respective pet mounts, flying across the prairie. Only then did the middle-aged man realize that his wife, who was originally sitting in the passenger seat, was hanging next to his great wildebeest pet mount, holding his arms and screaming in fear. And his left hand was still vigorously stroking the hard corners of the wildebeest. He quickly stopped the mount and pulled his wife up. Why, has it become the novice village map again? It happened once yesterday, and it happened again today. The world of divine online games interferes with reality more and more frequently. Scared me. I thought it was the end of the world. Turns out it was another space interference. Alas, I just don't know how many minutes this interference will last. Damn it, I just got off work and I have to rush back to cook for my children. This pet pig mount can run 20 kilometers and it can't even do it in the middle of the night. I must change my mount next time. Because yesterday there was a situation where the divine world interfered with reality. This time, millions of people in Jiangnan City behaved relatively calmly. Most people thought that after a while, the real world would return. But they didn't know that that busy place, the world of computer airplanes, has disappeared forever. Su Chen, who found himself sitting on a tree stump at the entrance of Novice Village, stood up and patted the dust and said, "Let's go, teleport to Dragon City, prepare to attack the land of Tianyuan." Ex Machina looked at the world of online games with curiosity and excitement, following Yun Fi Ian and the cute little white rabbit, teleporting to Dragon City together. Ding! The artifact Dragon Emperor Jade Pendant successfully converts energy and gets you free attribute points *1800. Ding! Server-wide announcement. The super-large god-level dungeon land of Tianyuan is officially opened. Each city has an entrance to the land of the Abyss dungeon, and players who have completed the second round can enter. A big red server-wide announcement suddenly floated in front of billions of people around the world who were plunged into darkness. At this moment, everyone was dumbfounded. It's only 6 o'clock, why does the game start already? Wrong. Isn't it just a space interference? Why are all server-wide announcements posted? Oh my god, could it be that the online game God's domain has really come to the real world? Just when everyone was shocked and confused, governments around the world began to issue announcements on the World Channel. Announcement from the government of country Z, it has been verified that the world of God's domain has fully covered the real world, and the world has entered the era of online games. There is currently no sign that the real world will one day return. Citizens of country Z, please do not panic. The government of country Z is still running smoothly in the world of gods. Under the leadership of Emperor Yan, we will usher in a better future. The first red warning of God's domain era 0001 was also issued. From today onwards, players have lost the unlimited resurrection attribute. After death, the acceptable resurrection time is exceeded, and they will die permanently. Citizens of country Z, please act with caution and do not go alone. Adventure. The government has opened an exclusive channel for country Z. If citizens of country Z who die unexpectedly in the wild cannot be resurrected, they can send a 120 call for help on the channel and mark their own coordinates. The government will send a commissioner priest to resurrect him as soon as possible. Announcement from the government of country M. Announcement from the government of country E. Announcement from the government of country F. I saw an announcement issued in the name of the government on the World Channel. Only then did billions of people around the world understand that the world had really changed. Woohoo, I'm so scared, I want to go back to reality. What's the reality? Didn't you see the announcement? From now on it will always be the age of the gods, and the real world of airplanes and cannons has disappeared, gone. Hello. Police. Which one is the police? My child is still studying in the evening, and now I don't know where he is. Can anyone help me find it? Uncle Long, what are you anxious about? Your child is more than 30 levels higher than you, so he is in danger in this novice village. Very good. From now on, I can finally play games every day openly. My illness is also cured. No more chemotherapy. Haha. In other words, I am no longer the damn cripple in the real world. From now on, I will be a healthy person who is active and active every day. Woohoo, I love this world. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 489. Perhaps it is the last mercy of this divine online game world. The places where humans appear around the world are all on the novice village map where the service areas of each country are located. The player with the most memorized points can return to novice village alive. After all, no matter how powerful the monsters here are, most of them are non-active attacking monsters. As long as you don't mess with it, you'll be fine. However, even if governments of various countries have issued warning orders. But from now on, the long-term negative growth trend of the world's population will inevitably begin. Although in the game world of God's domain, there is no disease, no disability, no hunger, a blood bottle can cure everything. But here, it is much more dangerous than the real world. Dragon City. In the huge square, a black vortex with a diameter of 10,000 meters slowly rotated over the square. A trace of dangerous aura, as well as the faint roar of gods and demons, emanated from it. This 10,000-meter black vortex is the entrance to the land of the abyss instance that appears above Dragon City. It is also the outpost into the 6 realms. At this time, in the center of the square, the elites and main battle members of the 3 major guilds in Dragon City, the top combat power of each clan, and 100,000 gods, demons, and dragon knights were all arrayed among them. Among the guild members, almost all the elite members have condensed their own godhead by brushing the godhead fragments from the battlefield of gods and demons in the past 2 days, and have gained semi-god level or even god level strength. Suchen stood on the pointing general platform in the center of the square. 6 women, including Yun Feiyan, Zhuwei, Yingying, and Lingshuang, who had master god level strength, stood behind him. Gatling Bodhisattva and Lu Yuanzong, who are thousands of meters tall, stand on both sides like gods. Farther away, 12 ancient giant beasts spout in the direction of Suchen. Nearly 1 million pairs of eyes in the audience all looked at Suchen, their gazes were blazing and their fighting spirit was raging. Suchen calmly looked away from the black whirlpool above his head, looked at the millions of people in the audience, and shouted in a deep voice, "All officers and men, listen to the order." Although the voice was not loud, but it reached the ears of everyone present, clearly audible. Exist. Nearly 1 million people in the venue shouted in unison, and the sound shook the sky. The 3 major guilds of Dragon City, with Zunlong and Half-Awakened Fox as commanders, and the Commercial Prince City as their deputy capital, command players from various countries and leaders of various tribes to guard the Divine Continent Wild Ancient Land Dusk Catacombs 9 Nether Purgatory. There are a total of 12 battlefields of gods and demons. When I return, no gods and demons will be allowed to disturb the peace of my divine domain. Promise. Zunlong and Half-Awake Fox, dressed in battle armor, led more than 800,000 elites and main battle players from the 3 major guilds, and loudly promised. And immediately began to lead the guild members to the royal city of the commercial prince. Tens of millions of other players in Dragon City, they were also expelled urgently. Just the number of qualifications required for Suchen, Yun Feiyan, Lu Yuanzong, and the ancient behemoths to enter the land of the abyss are countless. Who knows how many ordinary second-level players will die? Only then can they gather enough. Where can I find a place to take them? But when I heard that the entire Dragon City was going to the land of Tianyuan, most of the players were so scared that they left quickly. Even if they had confidence in Dragon City, no one are you willing to join forces with the billions of gods and demons in the six realms. Just as countless ordinary players were leaving Dragon City through the teleportation array suddenly trembled violently, causing the surrounding guards to rush into throwing massive amounts of elemental crystals to stabilize it. Immediately afterwards, a handsome young man with rich hair and pink face, dressed in red and blue satin, wearing a purple gold crown with three-pronged hair, and shaking a paper fan, the most handsome in the six realms, walked out happily. Damn it! Who is this person? This outfit is so cool. He's the most handsome in the six worlds. I think he is the second best in the six realms. The feathers on the top of your head are 2 meters long, aren't you afraid of hitting the doorframe? The player's mouth is the most poisonous. Levaden, who became a human being, heard someone commenting on himself for the first time. His eyes suddenly stared, and the top god level pressure in his body suddenly shook. There was a boom. All the players and guards around him were shocked. He opened it and fell to the ground, feeling overwhelmed and unable to stand up. Only then did those players realize that this naughty man was actually an NPC. And the idea above his head was Ocean Overlord Leviathan. I go. It turns out that he is the overlord of the endless sea, Leviathan. Wasn't he sealed under the sea by the six realms? Why did you come out? Die, die, die. I actually mocked an ancestor of the endless sea. I will definitely die now. Fortunately, Levaden was worried about Suchen's face. After all, this was Dragon City and Suchen's territory. I don't have any general experience with these players at the moment. In one step, we went directly to Longcheng Plaza. Ha 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 ha. King's Landing, I have arrived. When will I go to the land of Tianyuan to fight? Ugh. Levaden just dodged to the center of the square. Exuding the mighty pressure in his body, he was about to give Suchen's men a wave of sanctification, so majestic. But he didn't expect that the main god-level combat power gathered around Suchen actually had 210. There are only 52 main gods in the six realms combined. Suchen alone has 20 main gods. However, Levaden took a glance and found that the strength of the main gods present ranged from elementary to advanced, and they were not as powerful as himself. With such top god level strength, he felt calm at the moment. He ducked to Suchen's side and said with a big smile, "That's okay, kid. You have actually gathered such a group of main god level combat forces. I think it would be very difficult to control them with your general god level strength, right? It's okay, as long as I, Li Rishan, are here, they can't change the world." Gatlin Bodhisattva, Ji Mengli, Yingying, and others glared and scolded, "Who are you? How dare you say that to my master?" Lu Yuanzong on the side knew Levaden, a slut, and immediately said with a smile, "Li Rishan, my master is so powerful that we are all willing to be driven by him, and we don't need the master to control him." Levaden was stunned when he heard this master. He looked at Suchen and asked, "These main god-level combat powers are all your servants? I'll kill you." Li Ri, is the top god of the Tiantang Hall and is truly invincible under the gods. I have been proud of the six realms for millions of years. I am more handsome than you. I have never accepted a god-level subordinate. You Ya, who is only a general with god-level strength and a little uglier than me, actually accepted 20 lord gods as servants. This god is so blind. Levaden felt sad. He doubted again. Lu Yuanzong, that guy said you were so powerful, could it be that you were hiding your strength? Suchen waved his hands and said with sincerity, "I am a servant but not a servant, and I am so mighty and powerful. It's all because of my brother's promotion. Look around you, there are so many people, I am the weakest. Don't worry, when you go to the land of Tianyuan, Brother Rishan will take the lead. We will all follow you and we will never steal your limelight. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 490. Yunfi and the other girls, who were familiar with Suchen's character, turned their beautiful eyes when they heard what Suchen said. They knew that something bad might be brewing in Suchen's stomach. Looking at Li Vaden now, there was even a trace of sympathy. It's probably Suchen who fooled us again, and he's the weakest among us. If he were the weakest, then we probably wouldn't even be able to get out of the novice village. Lu Yuanzhong knew the character of Li Vaden, a slut, and he also echoed Suchen. Yes, yes, don't worry, we won't steal your limelight. Li Vaden laughed loudly and said, actually, it's useless for you to grab them. As long as I, Li Rishan, are here, as long as the gods don't come out, what's the difference between chopping up those gods and demons and chopping melons and vegetables? Don't worry, all you need to do is follow and cheer. Immediately after that, I caught a glimpse of the 100,000 dragoons lined up neatly and with a murderous look from the corner of my eye. I nodded and said, yes, that's good. I actually have 100,000 ordinary dragoons under my command. Although they are not as good as the Qing Emperor back then, they are still a little more impressive. The words are not finished yet. Always Xiaojue, who was wrapped around her sister's arm, came out and turned into a cute little girl. She put her little hands on her hips and said loudly, that's not an ordinary dragoon. That's the Emperor's brother's divine and demonic dragoon. You're an adult, I don't understand it yet, just a little bit. Xiaojue made a face at Li Vaden. Li Vaden stared. But he wasn't ready to fight with a little girl. Now take a closer look again. Really? Each of the 100,000 dragon knights lined up in the field had the aura of gods and demons. The first 9 dragon knights with strange auras have an ancient aura, and their auras are more powerful than those of the 100,000 divine and demonic dragon knights behind them. Li Vaden couldn't help being shocked. Thousands of years ago, out of the millions of dragon cavalry under the Qing Emperor, there were only 100,000 divine and demonic dragon cavalry. Unexpectedly, Suchen now has such a powerful army. He has seen the power of the divine demon dragon rider. Maybe he doesn't take a single god demon dragon rider seriously. But with a combined attack of 100,000 gods and demons dragon cavalry, even he had to avoid the edge temporarily. Li Vaden touched his nose and said vaguely, well, not bad, not bad. Suchen touched Xiaojue's little head and said with pity to Li Vaden, the number is too small, but in 2 or 3 days, it should be able to expand to 1 million gods and demons. By then, it should be able to come into the eyes of Brother Rishan. Li Vaden trembled. He looked at Suchen with a horrified face. Damn it! In 2 or 3 days, can we expand the army of gods and demons from 100,000 to 1 million? This is the divine demon dragon rider. Not shrimp. Is there such an exaggerated expansion speed? Are you sure you're not bragging? Suchen really wasn't bragging. Waiting to enter the land of Tianyuan. Killing hundreds of millions of gods and demons and collecting 900,000 godhead that has lost its power is not an easy task. When the time comes, it will be used to create 900,000 divine and demonic dragon knights. With 5 times the time flow rate of an independent space, it only takes 1 day to upgrade them all. When millions of gods and demon dragon knights are led by the 9-8 desolate dragon knights, then it will really be called killing gods when gods stand in their way, and Buddha when they stand in the way of Buddha. Although Li Vaden was shocked. I also felt that Suchen was bragging. But it's not easy to show it either. The so-called don't expose someone's shortcomings in person. Li Vaden felt that Suchen was his friend, so how could he casually demolish his role? After making final preparations for the battle, Suchen announced that he was entering the land of Tianyuan. Outside Dragon City. Hundreds of millions of players in country Z silently prayed for Suchen and Long Cheng. Zunlong and the half-awakened fox looked up at the huge black whirlpool over the commercial prince's city, and whispered, Suchen, Yun Fi Ian, I wish you all the best and a safe return. MFR. After repeated weighing, countries such as Y also sent a total of 200 top players including the war overlord into Tianyuan. These 200 players have gathered the power of the 20-nation alliance, obtained enough divine fragments in the battlefield of gods and demons, condensed their godhead, and have demigod or even god-level combat power. Even the top politicians from 20 countries came to see him off in person. War Overlord, you will lead this trip to Tianyuan. Whether our 20 countries can once again regain prosperity and compete with Country Z depends on you. The king of Country M held the War Overlord's hand tightly and said with an extremely solemn expression. The War Overlord looked at the black vortex with a diameter of 10,000 meters above his head and said solemnly, there will be a narrow escape from death, but don't worry, when I return, my strength will be strong. It will definitely be reborn, and by then our 20-nation alliance will definitely be able to gain a voice on the world stage. Dragon City. Suchen personally controlled the time and space fortress, using the black vortex in the sky as the coordinate point, and chose to teleport. Buzz. Just 5 seconds later, the time and space fortress turned into a stream of light and dived into the black vortex. At the same time, it caused violent shocks. Master, the entrance to the land of the abyss is still too small compared to the size of our time and space fortress. It would be difficult to forcefully pass through it, Ying Ying said from the side. Suchen sneered. Can't get through? Then squeeze hard. At this moment, all 10,000 advanced version power sources of the time and space fortress will be fully activated. Generating huge propulsion force, the black vortex with a diameter of 10,000 meters was suddenly expanded to 100,000 meters. Then squeeze in little by little. Ding. It is detected that there are 6 main god-level units at the current entrance ready to enter. Half of the main god-level units need to be sacrificed before they can pass. Ding. It is detected that the player King's Landing is the co-owner of God's domain. You can sacrifice ordinary players at will to obtain enough admission qualifications. The current 6 main god-level units need to sacrifice 300 million ordinary players to qualify for entry. Hearing the system prompt, Suchen, who had been mentally prepared, immediately said in a deep voice, with my order, choose MYFR and other service areas have reached the 2nd level and ordinary players will make sacrifices. Ding. Designation completed. Currently MYFR, wait for the service area to randomly sacrifice ordinary second turn players. The sacrifice is complete. You have collected the 300 million admission qualifications required by the 6 main gods and can enter the land of Tianyuan. Ding. It is detected that there are 10 god-level units preparing to enter at the current entrance, and 500 million ordinary players need to be sacrificed to pass. As the time and space fortress squeezed into the Tianyuan entrance little by little, the system scanned more and more main god-level units entering the Tianyuan land. Suchen placed all the players who needed to sacrifice outside of Country Z. Particular emphasis is placed on MYFR service area in countries such as A. For a while, the vast majority of foreign players who were still crowded in the novice village and had not left, suddenly fell to the ground and died in large areas. Oh! My God! What happened? Could it be that Thanos snapped his fingers? As soon as King's Landing left, could there be gods and demons taking the opportunity to massacre players like us? Help! Why are you standing there? If the time for accepting resurrection is exceeded, I will die permanently. Come and be resurrected quickly.